Hey guys! Today I wanted to talk about how the sizing on watercolor paper can expire, and I wanted to show some details. It's going to be a quick video and I hope you don't mind the noises. I'm outside because it's hot and we have sunlight up till almost 10 p.m. So it's late here, it's 9 p.m. and we got some sun. So let me show you my location so you understand what I'm talking about. I'm outside. You are going to hear some birds and maybe my siblings doing some sibling stuff. So here I have a sketchbook that I bought last year in France, and when I bought it, I already noticed, the first thing I noticed when I was painting was I paint this, and it was first inked, and when I noticed that the ink from the liner was kind of bleeding, like feathering on the edges, so the edges of the line kind of feathered and bled, I realized the paper, either it was low quality, which is not, it's not low quality, it's medium student quality, or the sizing of the paper had expired. So I proceeded to paint it with caution instead of damping the whole page and doing lots of wet on wet techniques. I did lots of wet brush on dry paper technique, and it worked. It turned out quite good, so you can't really appreciate problems with this one. And the feathering you can't almost see, because when I noticed, I switched pens and I took a micron, which the ink is less runny, it's less wet. I was using a ball pen from Uniball, and it was kind of, the ink was too runny. And here, because of the same problem, I decided I was going to use pencils, because pencils don't bleed. But you can see some issues here. I don't know if you can notice or the camera can pick it up. I was using lots of dry brushing for textures and avoiding wet on wet. And then here, it's when I really noticed the problems. My dog. So the main problem here was when the sizing expires, watercolor starts doing weird patterns and it bleeds, doing like feathery, soft, like fluff. It looks like fluff, like the paper is fluffing, and even if you keep the edges nice and crisp, you see these weird feathery edges develop. For this one, I really charged the page with paint, and at some point it was kind of overworked and it looked not so good. So I took some white gouache and I started covering the ugly patterns that were really obvious on the page. I don't think this page can be showed on YouTube. It has some gore and it has some things that maybe can be considered inappropriate, I don't know. And this one is a page where I swatched my Rosa Gallery paints. I've been using them for a couple of years already. And here, let's take a look at Indian Throne Blue. Oh, focus, you damn bitch. Here, you can see the Indian Throne Blue here has a weird edge and weird linear pattern, and here it's hard to see on camera, but you can see the pigment accumulates on the side, on this edge, weirdly, and I can tell, I assure you there wasn't a pool of water and the pigment didn't spread like that. It's just that the paper has expired, the sizing, and the pigments aren't properly absorbing into the page, and it's not sitting like it should sit on the page. And here you can see it really clearly. The feathering I was talking about earlier, this weird like fluff. I was trying to paint a really straight line, like as you can see here, but since I did wet on wet technique, and I did it on purpose to just make sure, I wanted to prove that the paper sizing has expired. So I painted with clean water, and then I painted with indigo here, and it started feathering and doing this strange pattern. However, when you do the wet brush on dry paper technique, you don't get that pattern. You still do get the pattern and the weird pigment distribution if you charge your brush with too much water. So things like this happen. So you can see here clearly where my nail is going is where my brush, the limit of my paintbrush stroke. So my paintbrush stroke didn't go beyond this line, yet the pigment weirdly absorbed into the paper and spread like this. And that's what happens when your sizing has expired. And yes, it can happen, and it's not a problem to me because this sketchbook was cheap and I use it for my personal word building studies, and I don't really care much. But if you really want to fix it, you can buy bottles of sizing liquid, and with a brush just paint all over your page and restore the sizing. Or you can just repurpose the paper and use it for pencils or whatever you want to use them for. That's what I do mostly. I will also use gouache and pencil, so it doesn't really go to waste. And I hope this video is useful. I know it's short and I'm so rusty. It's been a long time since I recorded videos, and I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.